Blake Lively is losing fans after lying about Justin Baldoni. She's being disowned by her core fan base, according to sources.
Blake Lively has been reportedly doing what most fans of It Ends With Us fear most.
It looks like Blake Lively's public image has quickly gone from Hollywood sweetheart to Hollywood's villain in no time.
It's been roughly 5 months since Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's feud overtook the headlines following their collaboration with It Ends With Us at the time of filming this video.
The drama surrounding It Ends With Us is getting way worse as Blake Lively reacts strangely and accuses Justin Baldoni.
Fans have already learned about the lawsuits filed by each party, with Blake accusing Justin of doing things to her on set that he wasn't supposed to be doing, and a smear campaign.
The allegation is made in a legal complaint filed by Blake against her former co-star and director on the film.
Meanwhile, Justin firmly denies all of the allegations, and he recently exposed his conversation with Blake, which could be used as court evidence.
Justin Baldoni from the get-go said, I don't want to do anything negative toward her. I don't want to hurt her.
The drama continues to make noise in Hollywood, and it seems like fans are starting to have doubts about who they should believe in. Blake Lively believed that her appearance in It Ends With Us would be the revival of her career. Blake is most recognized for her role as Serena in Gossip Girl.
Here you guys are. I looked all over the dining hall for you. Oh, hi, I'm Serena. I know.
She earned a cult following from that show alone, and the majority of them are women. Now, following the stuff involving her complaint against director and former co-star Justin Baldoni,
Blake Lively accuses Justin Baldoni of weight-shaming her on the set of It Ends With Us.
Blake might have been starting to lose her strong fan base. While some women are showing support for her amid the alleged experience on the movie set, others have simply disowned her. In an Instagram video shared by a life coach, she pointed out how the situation is a lose-lose for women. If the director is proven guilty, then it would mean that he was only a performative feminist ally and can't be trusted. However, if Blake is discovered telling lies, then it paints women in a negative light. For me personally, I don't agree with this. I don't think it's true, because there have been so many instances where women have done this, and I don't think all women or all men are the same. We can't judge an entire gender based on what a few people do. Several fans also voiced their opinions in the comment section of the video. One user said Blake Lively does not represent all women, while another wrote she messed up so much during the premiere and in interviews, pertaining to how she took the movie's theme very lightly. Meanwhile, another commented, I dislike Blake for her actions, while someone else wrote, I can't support Blake Lively. She's been trying desperately to make a case. Finally, the last fan wrote that if the actresses find out lying, she's lost all respect from them for the rest of their life. In times like this, when Blake needs the support of her fans, it seems like she's starting to lose many of her followers because of this. She previously aired her frustration about the impact of the case on her career, and it's only a matter of time before we find out who is really telling the truth.
So you just broke into my building?
I have a really nice view.
I do.
During an interview, Blake talked about her experience working on the teen drama series Gossip Girl and how the fame impacted her personal life. Blake admitted that despite the public perception surrounding her, she was different from her character. Instead, she revealed wanting to emulate Brad Pitt's ex-wife Angelina Jolie and even joked about marrying Brad Pitt. Following her rise to fame with the role, Blake sat down for a chat with Cosmopolitan in 2008. In the interview, she was asked about similarities with her character, who's known for her beauty and natural charisma. However, Blake admitted that she was goofier in real life. She made the statement implying that she was extremely fond of the actress Angelina Jolie, who was married to actor Brad Pitt from 2014 to 2019. Angelina has been one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and it's no surprise that Blake wanted to follow in her footsteps in the early stages of her career. In the same interview, Blake also clarified that unlike her character in Gossip Girl, she was inexperienced with dating. She admitted that she had only 3 relationships before her rise to fame. She revealed that she was serious and dedicated to all her relationships and never dated for the sake of it. Lively's comments are coming back in the news, and it isn't for a good reason. Her past reputation as one of the mean girls in Hollywood isn't doing her any favors right now. Blake Lively has long been admired for her quick wit, bold personality, unwavering confidence. Just ask her loyal fans. Or take a look at her hilarious online banter with her husband, Ryan Reynolds. But lately, her trademark sense of humor has been stopping at some serious roadblocks. One of the most talked about incidents revolves around an undated panel discussion clip that went viral on TikTok. In the video, Blake is seated next to her Gossip Girl co-star Leighton Meester. While discussing some behind-the-scenes anecdotes, Blake cracks what she clearly intended as a joke. Well, some of us started in a cage, she says, waving her hand in Leighton Meester's direction. The audience's reaction? Stunned silence and a few awkward chuckles. Blake, perhaps realizing the crowd's discomfort, quickly backpedaled, "Come on, it was a joke, Lord have mercy."
Come on, it was a joke.
Unfortunately, her attempts to patch things up only made people more uncomfortable. Onlookers in the room and later social media commentators expressed their disapproval, calling the comment tone-deaf and insensitive. The fact that Blake's joke was directed at Leighton Meester made it all the more jarring. So for those of you who don't know, Leighton Meester was actually born in a prison. So it was a pretty mean joke. According to executive producer Joshua Safran, who spilled the beans at a Vanity Fair interview, Blake and Leighton weren't exactly BFFs in real life despite playing best friends on screen. Sure, they weren't bitter enemies, but they definitely didn't share the same warm rapport fans might have hoped for. So you can imagine how uncomfortable it must have been for Leighton to stand by while Blake made jokes at her expense. It's one thing to exchange like friendly jabs with a long-term pal. It's another to target someone who you're not really close with. Fans quickly jumped in to call Blake's joke in bad taste, with many pointing out that humor doesn't always translate well between acquaintances, especially when it digs into personal struggles. The biggest issue with Blake's cage joke is its reference to Leighton Meester's unconventional background. Leighton was born to Constance Meester, who was incarcerated and serving time for some big things. Growing up, Leighton spent her early years under her grandmother's care. This background is no secret to longtime fans, but it's still a delicate subject. Bringing it up in an offhand joke, especially in a public way, it's not a good look. Many who witnessed the viral clip felt that Blake's comment trivialized Leighton's hardships, turning them into punchlines rather than showing any empathy. After the clip made its rounds, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram erupted with opinions. Some people posted saying that they'd never see Blake the same way again, while others argued that Blake was just trying to lighten the mood with some playful banter. Still, the overwhelming opinion leaned toward disapproval. A barrage of comments labeled Blake as insensitive, disrespectful, unfunny. The last thing you want when you already have rumors of on-set tension is to make a public fool of yourself that confirms everyone's suspicions. Yet here was Blake, caught on camera, making a remark about someone else's difficult childhood. The timing and the tone made it practically impossible for her to talk her way out of it. And this isn't the first time Blake has found herself in hot water over her words. Throughout 2024, multiple clips of her interviews have gone viral for all the wrong reasons. Whether it's the way she discusses sensitive topics or her quick, flippant retorts to seemingly harmless questions, something about Blake's delivery rubs certain fans the wrong way. Another glaring example of Blake's commentary took place during a Vogue 73 Questions segment back in July 2014. The interviewer asked her which movie made her laugh the hardest, and Blake responded without batting an eyelash with Shawshank Redemption. Cue the collective record scratch. The 1994 classic is a famously gritty tale of wrongful imprisonment, friendship, corruption. It's hailed as one of the most emotionally stirring films of all time. Not exactly a laugh-out-loud romp. The interviewer seemed amused but quickly moved on. When the clip resurfaced on TikTok, though, fans weren't so forgiving.
Movie you laughed the hardest through?
Shawshank Redemption.
They questioned if Blake had actually watched the same movie or if she was just attempting some dry, sarcastic humor and completely missing the mark. Social media erupted once again. One user commented that Blake might have been pulling a Ryan Reynolds, known for his deadpan humor, but ultimately failed to deliver. Another person insisted that Blake was just trying to be ironic, but flubbed the execution. Another viewpoint argued that Blake might not have had an actual answer in mind and tossed out the first random little thing she could think of, trying to appear clever or edgy. Whatever her intentions, her response was negative, with some calling her blindsidedly pretentious, others rolling their eyes at what they saw as a clumsy attempt at humor. While Blake still has plenty of superfans, the growing thread on Reddit called her cringe, demonstrating a noticeable shift in how certain corners of the internet perceive her. Some people said she's always been this way but flew under the radar because the media loved her. Now with multiple clips surfacing, people are revisiting past interviews, discovering more instances where her jokes may have landed awkwardly. Many argue that it's fine to have a sense of humor after all, it's part of what made her so likable, but you have to know when to pivot and show respect, especially around heavy topics like incarceration and other things that shouldn't be taken lightly. The scrutiny over her comedic style also comes to a head with her recent press tour for It Ends With Us. The movie tackles heavy themes, yet Blake seemed more focused on flaunting her new healthcare line, Blake Brown Beauty, and gushing about the film's fashion. Fans felt that downplaying the serious elements of the story was another example of Blake's disconnect. A contingent of viewers and readers voiced dismay, saying she had trivialized a serious subject in favor of self-promotion. Celebrity journalist Kirsty Flatt recently posted a video titled "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job," garnering over 3 million views and stirring considerable buzz. The footage, taken in 2016 during an interview for Cafe Society, left watchers with a negative taste in their mouth. The tension began when Kirsty attempted to compliment Blake's pregnancy, saying, "First off, congrats on your little bump." Blake responded with a curt "Congrats on your little bump," gesturing towards Kirsty.
Congrats on your little bump.
Making matters more awkward, Parker Posey, also present for the interview, asked, "What about my bump?" as she pointed to her backside.
What about my bump?
The two actresses spent much of the remaining time conversing with each other, barely acknowledging Kirsty. Their behavior struck viewers as mean-spirited rather than entertaining. Kirsty visibly struggled with the uncomfortable exchange. Nonetheless, she maintained her professionalism. Speaking with the Daily Mail, Kirsty admitted, "It hurts because I obviously wasn't pregnant and I could never get pregnant." Another moment involved Blake using a word she shouldn't have been using while chatting with Elle about the possibility of having daughters, saying she wants her kids to appreciate shoes, bags, and stories. The comment garnered a wave of online criticism. Meanwhile, rumors of a feud between Blake and her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni have gained momentum. Justin, who both directed and starred in the film, raised eyebrows when he skipped all press appearances with his castmates and steered clear of the red carpet alongside Blake. Justin has reportedly hired Melissa Nathan, the crisis PR manager known for her work with Johnny Depp, during his court battle against Amber Heard. Insiders claim Blake and Justin clashed over creative choices. Reports suggested Blake and her husband Ryan brought in an editor to assemble their preferred vision of the film, which apparently became the final cut. Rumors also circulated that Blake accused Justin of weird on-set conduct, but neither party has publicly addressed these claims. According to sources speaking to the Daily Mail, Blake is worried about her career following the continuous missteps she's had. Rumor has it she believed her new role would be her moment to shine, but now fears it could derail her career. Blake is definitely upset by the backlash. She thought this was her big opportunity, but now she worries it could end everything, said one insider. She's concerned nobody will want to work with her after this. The source added that Blake hopes to keep producing, directing, acting, but intends to pause and reconsider her next steps.
Baldoni is suing Blake Lively for even more millions of dollars than she had sued him for.
Justin officially files a $400 million countersuit.
That's right. Justin clapped back with a whooping $400 million suit, and this time even Taylor Swift's name is involved.
The Grammy winner appears to be mentioned in the $400 million countersuit filed by Justin January 16.
Justin and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, just filed this large suit against his It Ends With Us co-star Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and her publicist Leslie Sloan, and they are seeking millions of dollars. Okay, so Justin is claiming that Blake is this massive control freak, and every step of the production process for It Ends With Us involved Blake's 2 cents. This suit is specifically focused on her trying to take control of the movie and the alleged campaign to smear Baldoni. So not only did she allegedly try to take control of the movie that he directed, but she was trying to also destroy his reputation. Apparently, the docs obtained by TMZ, Blake was determined to make Baldoni the real-life villain in her story, to take away from the fact that she was getting called tone deaf while the film's media tour was happening. So there was a lot going down while the movie was being filmed. This whole drama really started back in May 2023, and Justin claimed she orchestrated a takeover strategy for creative control. So Justin also blames Blake's best friend Taylor Swift, that's right, Swifties, and her husband Ryan Reynolds, of basically inserting themselves into the whole script writing process. According to him, Blake had rewritten the important rooftop scene where the main characters meet. He claims that they had a meeting at Blake and Ryan's New York City penthouse to discuss the rewrite, but in hindsight, he feels it was more of an ambush. Justin says that Ryan kicked things off by enthusiastically endorsing Blake's version of the scene, and a few hours later, Taylor arrived to share her thoughts, also praising Blake's rewrite. In the suit, Justin states he understood the subtext. He needed to comply with Lively's direction for the script. Following that meeting, he texts Blake saying he liked her changes and would have felt that way even without Ryan and Taylor's input. For the record, he's included those texts in the suit. In one message, Blake makes this playful comment, Game of Thrones reference, calling herself Khaleesi and saying, "I happen to have a few dragons. We all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine," which was a way to describe Reynolds and Taylor Swift. Now, Blake and Justin have also exchanged emails between the two before filming started, and Blake was expressing gratitude, but Justin thinks it was all a front to ultimately take control in the end. Some surprising moments early on included the fact that she never even read the book. She literally didn't read the book when they were working on the script. Crazy, right? He claimed she even tried to Google the color of the character's hair. Pick up the book, Blake, come on. Another annoying moment for Justin to deal with was Blake's request on the character's wardrobe. She had a rich and sexy look that she wanted, but Justin told her she was playing a struggling small business owner. Kind of a crazy request and could have been avoided if she read the book. Taken while she was promoting the film, which has a deep message behind it, she was also trying to promote her hair care and drink line, which does not align at all. Like, time and place here. Now, Justin also spells out the moment in January 2024 when he, Blake, Ryan, and other cast and crew members had a meeting. Blake apparently came in ready to change everything while they were getting ready for reshoots of the film. This is also the same meeting where Ryan was coming at Justin for claims that Blake had made during the filming, which were pretty crazy if you know what they were. Now, Justin describes the situation stating that Blake unleashed Ryan on Baldoni and Wayfair. He claims that despite meeting most of Blake's demands, she continued to say she would derail the movie unless she was allowed to create her own cut of the film. According to Justin, Sony Studios, the film's distributor, informed Wayfair that Blake refused to promote the movie unless she could produce her own cut. So they decided to make it a competition. Both his version and Blake's would be shown to an audience, and the version that tested better would ultimately become the final cut. So Justin claims his version scored significantly higher with key audience demographics, but says that, not surprisingly, Blake didn't keep her promise and insisted that Sony release her version, which it did. He says this situation essentially made him step down from directing the movie because, I mean, at this point, it's like, what is he getting from what he wants versus what she's demanding? Despite all this, Justin claims that the pressure and dragging continued. As the movie was released, all of the cast unfollowed him on social media and supported Blake. Justin says that this was when Blake's PR team, led by Leslie Sloane, made major efforts with a campaign to frame Blake as martyr and pin the blame on him. He also claims that Sloane collaborated with his ex-publicist, whom he recently fired, and assessed her company phone to retrieve numerous texts used to concoct a false narrative about him. The suit includes numerous texts Sloane allegedly sent to various media outlets, including TMZ, in which he tried to divert attention from Lively's tyrannical behavior on set. This suit is no joke. With $400 million being sought from Lively and Sloane, this race is nowhere near complete. Baldoni also has his suit against the New York Times for $250 million over the article that they try to make him the bad guy for apparently orchestrating a smear campaign against Blake. But who will have the last word and get the final paycheck in the end? It's hard to say. I guess you can say Baldoni's currently in the lead, in my opinion. I mean, he's got Taylor involved, he's got Ryan involved, publicist, he's got all these text messages and everything kind of ready to go. And I don't know, I guess Blake's gonna really have to clap back to make a comeback here.
Justin Baldoni can't get enough of the Blake Lively family, and now he is going after Ryan Reynolds.
Justin Baldoni just dropped his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
The It Ends With Us actor-director is now suing Ryan Reynolds and their publicist.
Knowing the star power Ryan has, this probably isn't ending well for Justin. But who's to say that? He has proof of a lot of different things, and we don't know what he has against Ryan. Justin is raising eyebrows by insisting that Disney and Marvel executives keep all documents related to a Deadpool and Wolverine character named Nicepool, a character he believes was created to poke fun at him.
Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?
Guilty on all charges, Your Honor.
Character is a deliberate attempt to mock and bully the star.
This request comes on the heels of Justin's ongoing disputes with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, which have led to a messy web of lawsuits stemming from It Ends With Us. According to Justin, Ryan mishandled this creative influence on the Marvel summer hit, using the Nicepool character to undermine him and add fuel to the tension surrounding Blake Lively during the production of It Ends With Us. Meanwhile, Blake has alleged in a lawsuit that Justin acted improperly towards her during filming claims Justin has adamantly denied. He's also suing the New York Times for $250 million in a defamation suit concerning a December 21st, 2024 story titled, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside Hollywood's Smear Machine." Variety reported recently that Justin's attorney Brian Friedman sent a letter on January 7, 2025 to Disney CEO, Marvel president, and director who helmed the first Deadpool movie, requesting that they preserve all relevant documents and data about Justin.
Justin's legal team has sent a letter to presidents of Disney and Marvel Studios.
DailyMail.com noted that the letter was issued right as the Pacific Palisades flame broke out, which reportedly took care of Friedman's own home, likely explaining why things have been quieter on the legal front in recent days. In his message, Friedman asked the others to hold any records concerning the creation and development of the Nice Pool character, as well as any exchanges about including him in storylines or scenes. Friedman specifically requested anything showing a deliberate attempt to mock, harass, ridicule, intimidate, or bully Justin through his character of Nice Pool, hinting that they may soon accuse Ryan Blake and their associates of trying to ruin Justin's reputation. Variety also said Friedman's notice references possible future claims of tortious interference with contract and civil extortion against Ryan and Blake. Additionally, the letter asks for materials related to Tim Miller's departure from the franchise and any instance where Ryan had creative control over a film. Ryan has kept silent about Nice Pool, even as fans online claim it's a jab at Justin. There's also an intriguing connection. The actor portraying Nice Pool is credited as Gordon Reynolds, which matches a name Blake Lively thanked in the end credits of It Ends With Us. During a January 7, 2025 appearance on The Megyn Kelly Show, Friedman made it clear he believes Ryan created the Nice Pool character to embarrass Justin. He added, "What Ryan Reynolds has seemingly done is use his power and influence on Deadpool to make fun of Justin Baldoni." Megyn Kelly then played a snippet featuring the Nice Pool character sporting a man bun similar to the ones Justin has worn and bantering about social activism, Blake's own Lady Pool character, and her pregnancy.
Goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and
Friedman said the scene was obviously designed to poke fun at Justin. Friedman also stated that if Blake was truly the target of unwanted or improper behavior, Ryan's comedic approach to the situation is inappropriate. "You don't make it into a joke," Friedman told Kelly, adding that serious allegations usually follow more formal protocols like filing reports or pursuing legal measures rather than comedic sketches. According to Friedman, mocking Justin in this way casts doubt on the credibility of Blake's complaints. If someone is harassed in a serious way, you don't treat it like a punchline, he emphasized. Friedman went on to describe how the Nice Pool character's traits were, in his view, all too obvious nods to Justin's appearance and public persona. "There's no question it relates to Justin," Friedman maintained. "Anybody who sees the man bun, hears the comments about pregnancy, can connect the dots." He also said that Ryan will for sure face a lawsuit related to It Ends With Us, hinting that Ryan helped Blake Lively take over the film. Friedman even shared a story about Blake telling people at the premiere that Ryan penned a scene for the movie, a revelation that supposedly startled Sony officials and production staff, since the only credited writers were Christy Hall and Colleen Hoover. Nonetheless, Justin opted for grace instead of making a scene. Brian Friedman dropped an eye-opening piece of info on The Megyn Kelly Show, revealing that his client Justin Baldoni is prepared to sue Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively into oblivion. According to Friedman, Justin has so far held off on launching his direct legal action against the couple, but the mood is shifting rapidly. At this point, fans are buzzing about whether Justin's rumored shutdown with the A-list pair is about to reach nuclear levels, especially given the suspicious nods to him in Deadpool and Wolverine. The speculation went wild after eagle-eyed viewers noticed that the Nice Pool character appears in the film. This alternate Deadpool sports a man bun, something that Justin famously wore for years, and jokingly declared he's a feminist who admired Lady Pool. Deadpool quickly warns him, "I don't think you're supposed to say that," but Nice Pool shrugs it off, saying, "That's okay, I identify as a feminist." This echoes Justin's real-life persona. He's consistently described himself as a feminist, once giving a TED Talk titled, "Why I'm Done Trying to Be Man Enough," and penning an article in Romper about fatherhood from a feminist perspective. The theories took further shape when it emerged that Deadpool and Wolverine wrapped up filming in June 2024, just 5 months after a tense all-hands meeting between Justin, Ryan, Blake, and the other producers. According to Blake's lawsuit, the gathering was to address some heavy allegations on Justin. For his part, has repeatedly refuted these accusations. He's even moved forward with the $250 million defamation claim against the New York Times following an article that portrayed him as a key figure in Hollywood's smear machine.
Justin Baldoni sues the New York Times for $250 million.
Blake, who welcomed her 4th child with Ryan just prior to filming It Ends With Us, has detailed multiple claims in her lawsuits. She alleges that Justin often critiqued her size and tried to slip more intimate scenes into the film, all without a designated intimacy coordinator. She also said he showed her weird images and continued smooching her after filming long after cut was called. Meanwhile, Justin's side claimed Blake refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator, implying she's using the storyline to discredit him. The accusations have grown so intense, industry insiders say Justin and Blake's feud has overshadowed the movie's success, even though It Ends With Us performed well at the box office. Some of the drama apparently boiled over at a meeting in Ryan and Blake's apartment, where Ryan allegedly confronted Justin about talking bad about his wife, among other concerns. Justin said he had never been spoken to like that in his life, and Ryan's camp messaged back clarifying that while Ryan was indeed angry, he didn't raise his voice to a level that could be considered full-blown yelling, just merely stern. Fans of both sides are split. Was this a justified dressing down or an over-the-line meltdown? As if that weren't enough, Justin contends he was further humiliated by the Deadpool and Wolverine cameo. The supervillain Cassandra Nova is seen literally rifling through Deadpool's memories with Deadpool quipping, "And where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?" A pointed jab at the very issue Blake is suing Justin over. In Justin's version, the scene is yet another orchestrated move to poke fun at him, trivializing serious allegations. Adding to Justin's avalanche of headaches, a former publicist also sued him, while his talent agency, coincidentally the same agent repping Ryan and Blake, dropped him following the string of controversies. In her filings, Blake alleges Justin instigated a social campaign to mess with her standing in Hollywood. She claims he displayed sinister tactics towards anyone who challenged him. It Ends With Us hit theaters on August 9th, 2024, and became a bona fide success. The film, adapted from Colleen Hoover's book, raked in $148 million domestically and $350 million worldwide, according to the Box Office Mojo. Many critics suggest that behind-the-scenes friction and the subsequent talks might have overshadowed the film's achievements. With Brian Friedman declaring that Justin plans to pursue massive repercussions against Ryan and Blake, the stage is set for even more high-profile confrontation. Fans are asking if this could spell the end of the power couple's comedic jabs or if they'll double down, fueling the gossip cycle yet again. But for now, both sides stand firm. Blake and Ryan maintain that they did nothing wrong. Justin insists that he's innocent of all harassment claims, and the Nice Pool cameo, along with other comedic bits, was a calculated attack on his character.
Things are getting way worse for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Justin Baldoni just dropped his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
This is so bad that even Disney is getting involved now.
Justin's legal team has sent a letter to presidents of Disney and Marvel Studios.
So it looks like nobody's in the clear that even Ryan Reynolds' MCU movie Deadpool and Wolverine was dragged in the suit. If you thought things were already crazy, it can really get more wild. While all these claims have been swirling, this one is probably the least expected. According to Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, he's claiming that Ryan took jabs at him with the character Nice Pool. Justin has made it very clear that he will not be working with Disney or Marvel since his lawyer demanded Disney preserve evidence in relationship to Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie was a big hit in 2024, but it's seeing a lot of backlash after these claims were made. So apparently in the Marvel movie, Friedman's claiming that this Nice Pool character is totally mocking Baldoni. Now I know this sounds pretty wild, but let me share some moments where these claims of Justin is being mocked might have happened. So first we have Justin's bun hairstyle that he was rocking back in 2024. There were too many similarities, from Nice Pool calling himself a feminist to lines like "Where in God's name, intimacy coordinator."
Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?
And then hyping Blake Lively's Lady Pool for snapping back into shape after giving birth.
Goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and
so these similarities were a little too similar for Justin's team to let slide. Like, Justin's team is not letting this go, guys. They are demanding that Disney provide all relevant documents behind this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. That's relevant to this case. Friedman is going to get all the evidence he needs to get to the bottom of this, whether this film has intentionally included references to Baldoni. Now let's take a step back and go over how this all happened, right? This feud all started in December 2024 when Blake filed a complaint blaming Justin of invading her privacy, body shaming her postpartum, and ruining her reputation. Justin denied the claims, announced plans to sue, and even released their private texts. From there, it completely snowballed. Justin was dropped by his talent agency, sued by his ex-publicist Stephanie, and lost an award from Vital Voices. Meanwhile, Blake accused Justin and his team of retaliation with leaked texts revealing claims that there was plans to smear her reputation. Fast forward to January 2025, both sides are lawyering up, ready to keep going till they win. Fans of celebs are picking sides, with some backing Blake, others defending justice. It's getting really crazy, and the millions are just going up and up and up. Even during It Ends With Us press tour, the tension was obvious. Blake's supporters argue she was unfairly targeted by Justin's alleged smear campaign, while Justin's camp insists he's been falsely pursued. Now, while it began with the two stars, Blake's hubby was clearly not going to sit back and watch. The drama has gone beyond the original claims, and Ryan is right in the middle of all the drama. While we have yet to know if this nice pool character is actually poking fun at Baldoni, the public is already deciding that it is, and they are not happy with Ryan Reynolds at all and think he's taking it way too far to defend his wife or whatever this might have been, if it is true. His Instagram comments are going crazy. One user commented, "I've been a Ryan stan for years. So sad about the latest news. Didn't catch the mean mockery he did about Justin during the Deadpool movie until now. Maybe we all thought Ryan was funny, and turns out he's just like Blake." Wow, so I guess Blake was just never in the clear there, because that was just obviously saying he's just like her, basically. And it seems like they're not buying this fake narrative, and they think that this is indeed the truth, that his character in this movie was mocking him. Another person commented, "Shame on you and Blake, you owe Justin Baldoni a public apology." So his comment section isn't looking too good. No one's on Ryan's side right now. It's led him to restrict his comments, something Justin apparently hasn't done. So that's another thing that's kind of got us questioning who's right and wrong. Like, clearly, if you have to restrict your comments, that doesn't look too good, you know? So it looks like Ryan could have a lot of explaining to do. The worst part is that it's also affecting this fan favorite movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. And it was huge, highly anticipated, and now I guess people are rewatching it to see if these little mockeries are actually true. With so much drama surrounding this film, it could ultimately ruin it. But who knows, right? Let's maybe leave the movie out of it. But with that being said, if they allowed him to, do this in the movie, then that could go a lot more crazy. This situation just keeps getting crazy though, right? With more drama getting added, with these new suits that just came out, $400 million, oh my god, it's just getting really crazy. Blake Lively is demanding a lot of money from Justin Baldoni, and guys, it's in the millions. I'm not talking about some penny change here. Blake is coming for all of Justin's funds and won't back down until she's paid out. You know how much she's looking for? Brace yourself. $10 million. Yeah, she's ready to see Justin in court and leave with all 10 million of it. So let's backtrack a bit here. If you didn't know, the two were stars in the film It Ends With Us, and let's just say the behind the scenes is wild. Now, in the past couple weeks, Blake's image has been falling down, with past interviews coming up and everyone referring to her as the mean girl. But here's the crazy part. She believes Justin set up a smear campaign to ruin her reputation, and it was kind of working, if that is true. Now, last year, Blake hit Justin with claims from how he was acting on set to creating a work environment that wasn't ideal, which apparently continued even after she confronted him. So she's suing him, and he followed up with a countersuit. But this will not be a cheap moment for the two. They need strong teams from the claim side to their image. I mean, the wrong move can really have their reputation pretty much have no comeback. Now, Cameron Delatsche, partner at MSD Lawyers, shared with The Sun, it's absolutely reputation related. She has, between her and her husband, all the money in the world. I mean, think about it this way. Up until this movie, Blake and Ryan have kept a great reputation in front of the public's eye. All of a sudden, Blake's name is being dragged, and we can't just assume it's a coincidence, right? Cameron continued sharing, "I don't think it's a money issue. I think that this was her needing to change to the narrative, and already has." He continued, "Already it's had positive effects for her reputation, and I expect that it will continue for her." Now, sure, this could be the case, but there's a lot more to it. I mean, right now it looks like an uphill moment for Blake, and Justin might need to do some damage control. And it's going to be an expensive suit and could cost one of these stars images. And if you believe that they'll be spending a lot of money to protect their reputation, then you're right. I mean, Cameron also shared that this is just the start. We haven't even gone through the discovery process. I'm sure there's more text messages to be had. So I guess we can see more tea that's going to be spilled. And recently, Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively for $400 million. Yeah, so it seems like he was ready to clap back. And he also has filed a $250 million suit against the New York Times, claiming they created a whole smear campaign against him with the help of Blake. So it looks like, he's not backing down anytime soon and is ready to, take hold of his name and his reputation and not let this big star or her husband or anyone for that matter bring his name to the ground. These two stars are really just ready to spend millions of dollars to receive a payout and protect their reputation. I mean, think about it. Justin's net worth is about $4 million. Blake's fortune is a lot higher at $30 million, and her hubby, Ryan Reynolds, estimated at about $350. So I guess it's a bit difficult for Justin, considering he's making a lot less, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully justice is served regardless of that fact. And now, what are fans saying about all this? Instagram users are actually coming for Blake. One user commented, "Girl, you're giving Amber Heard vibes." And we all know that suit ended very bad, so that was quite the diss. Other people are still defending her. One person said, "I support you, Blake, and speaking up will protect other women in the future. Doing the right thing isn't always the easiest thing to do. Don't let the haters get to you." So obviously we're going to see both sides on either actor, right? There's the good and the bad. Justin's Instagram also had a lot to say. One person said, "We stand with you, Justin. Your only misstep was hiring Blake Lively for this film." And another person said, "You seem like a bad guy. Team Blake."
Lively is getting exposed for bad behavior because of some leaked audio, and it is so wild.
A voicemail from Justin Baldoni talking about how Blake Lively sent he and his entire family into the basement.
I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour.
Justin is trying to spin everything to make himself a victim now. This is a huge turn of events because, at first, Blake Lively was getting all the support. Now Justin Baldoni appears to be winning in the public eye. The increasingly dramatic feud between It Ends With Us co-stars, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, has taken yet another eye-opening twist. An alleged audio clip, revealed by Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman, is now circulating among fans and media outlets.
I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast.
Prompting new questions about who really holds the moral high ground and who may be spinning the narrative behind the scenes. Rumors that Blake and Justin weren't exactly besties began swirling during the film's promotional tour last year. Observers noticed that the two stars never took photos together, avoided each other during interviews, and spoke about the film as if they were working on separate projects. While tension isn't uncommon in Hollywood, the situation escalated in a major way when the New York Times published a report alleging that Justin orchestrated a targeted smear campaign against Blake, complete with accusations of on-set mistreatment. Soon afterward, Blake filed an official lawsuit, asserting that Justin not only slandered her, but also said weird stuff to her during production.
Blake Lively is taking legal action against Justin Baldoni.
For those who admired the two actors' previous work, Justin's directorial ventures, and Blake's beloved performances, it was a revelation that felt jarring. Adding to the drama, Justin promptly responded with his own legal action, arguing that the Times had published false and defamatory claims.
Justin Baldoni sues the New York Times for $250 million.
Against this backdrop, Friedman released the so-called smoking gun, an audio clip capturing Justin's account of the It Ends With Us premiere.
Think about this, on what, could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life career-wise.
In the recording, Justin conveys deep disappointment at being relegated to the sidelines on what should have been a triumphant night. According to his remarks, Blake allegedly had him removed from the main event area for over an hour, forcing him to hang out in the basement with his friends and family. On what could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life career-wise, I was sent to the basement with all my friends and family. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast. These words paint an image of a star who felt deliberately shunned, offering a perspective that clashes sharply with the narrative that Justin was the aggressor. For Friedman, this moment is critical. He claims it serves as proof that Justin was the one being excluded, calling into question Blake's version of events. Unsurprisingly, Blake's representatives have shown no sign of backing down. To them, the audio clip is merely a sideshow designed to shift focus away from what they view as very real allegations of misconduct. In their view, the recording, whether authentic or taken out of context, doesn't address the core issues of what she is talking about that Blake's lawsuit highlights. For Blake's legal team, the fundamental matter remains the alleged pattern of disrespect and intimidation she encountered on set. The question, they argue, isn't whether Justin felt snubbed during a premiere, but whether he engaged in behavior that crossed professional and personal boundaries. As news of the leaked audio spreads, fans and social media commenters are weighing in. Some see it as validation that Justin was the actual victim, pointing out that feeling marginalized or publicly humiliated can be really taxing. Others suspect it's all part of a carefully orchestrated counteroffensive, with the audio's release timed to derail Blake's claims. After all, if the public starts focusing on the premiere incident, they might pay less attention to the more serious accusations she's made. Because this is not your typical Hollywood clash. There are big money lawsuits, reputations at stake, and sensitive allegations on the table. The tension surrounding Blake and Justin's dispute has become a full-blown spectacle. Every new piece of evidence, from leaked text messages to alleged audio recordings, draws the spotlight further onto how these two stars interacted on set and off. With the legal proceedings far from over, each side is racing to win in the court of public opinion. Whether this audio ultimately shifts the case or simply adds more noise remains to be seen.
Blake Lively admits she tried to control Justin Baldoni's movie, It Ends With Us.
We gather stones.
You want to do the honors? That's my brother, Ryle.
The first official customer?
The drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni keeps getting more heated as their court battle progresses. It's been a wild ride. Both parties have been in dispute since the release of their collaboration film, It Ends With Us, where they both starred in. Blake is suing Justin, who served as the movie's director,
alleging that Justin spearheaded an online smear campaign against Blake.
At the end of this, both Lively and Baldoni are going to wish it never came to fruition.
for a ton of different accusations that she claims. Following Blake Lively's 80-page lawsuit against former co-star and director Justin Baldoni for On the Set of It Ends With Us, a video shared by Sky News at the London red carpet premiere of the film suggested that Blake was heavily involved in the making of Colleen Hoover's book adaptation. Dressed in an elegant floral outfit, Blake stated that she's not the type of actor who would act without producing. In her words, she said, "You can't just put me in any clothes and give me any words and have me step in and transform." She admitted to feeling like an imposter before as she watched actors who could easily transform themselves on set like shapeshifters, but then she realized that the people she admired most were filmmakers or storytellers who are hands-on when it comes to writing and creating. She believes she belongs in the later category, and she's proud to embrace that. A user from Twitter shared this video on the platform that suggested that Blake might seem to think that the public would ignore her old statements about the magnitude of her influence on the project, as she claimed to be just an actor with no power or control in her lawsuit. Justin Baldoni has previously exposed an alleged text conversation between him and the actress and how she was pretty much in charge of her character's wardrobe on the set. In the same exchange, he also revealed that Blake reportedly permitted him to enter her trailer to rehearse while she was pumping milk. Blake's lawsuit against Justin was viewed by US Weekly, with the outlet sharing in an article that the director allegedly appeared focused on things that he was not supposed to be focused on and doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing, but unfortunately I can't talk about the details here. Everything that Blake is saying Justin did, he firmly denies, and a lot of people are taking his side due to the fact that he did debunk some of the stuff that Blake's saying. He's also been a women's rights activist for many years, and he is a staunch feminist, so why would he decide right now would be a time to do all of the stuff that she said he did? The drama between the former co-stars continues to worsen as the days go by, and it does not seem like a matter that will be settled instantaneously. So much more is going to come out in court, and apparently Justin's team plans to release every single text message between the two.
Looking through Blake Lively's past isn't shining such a great light on her. Let's look at some moments when Blake Lively's behavior went too far.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Although you may have believed that the Gossip Girl co-stars were closest friends, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. Before delivering her statement at PallyFest in 2008, Blake Lively is shown in the rediscovered interview participating in a panel discussion with Leighton Meester and the other Gossip Girl cast members. She was disclosing the promises the producers of Gossip Girls had given her in order to guarantee her role as Serena on the show. She explained that in the books, Chuck Bass had a pet monkey, something she wasn't keen on.
Another promise was no pet monkey.
So she admitted that she made them promise there would be no pet monkey. She continued, Chuck has a pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be a part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. She then pointed directly to Leighton and joked, well, I got a few of them. Leighton was offended by the remark, rightfully so, and Penn Badgley and Chase Crawford glanced at the ground awkwardly as the audience chuckled.
And then I got a few of them.
When none of her co-stars laughed, she exclaimed, come on, it was a joke, Lord have mercy.
Come on, it was a joke.
Not a very good joke. A tweet went viral which showed an image of Blake Lively giving a quote to a journalist where she says a term widely accepted to be not very kind to those who've transitioned. Blake Lively talked to Elle magazine about her hopes for her future children and what they might wear while she was filming Gossip Girl. The quote says, I hope to have a few girls one day. If not girls, they better be, because I have some amazing shoes and bags that need to be appreciated. Later in another video, she repeated the word. You read the gossip magazines and everybody is dating everyone. Everyone hates everyone. Everybody's had tons of plastic surgery and we're actually men, and it's just like you don't listen to the rumors.
What is the next 5 years of...
Goodness gracious. At the Boone Hall plantation in South Carolina, which housed 9 worker huts during the owning of people, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds tied the knot in 2012. In an Instagram post from 2020, Blake and Ryan expressed their regret about the plantation wedding. They wrote, we're ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systematic unrest is. We want to educate ourselves about other people's experiences and talk to our kids about everything, all of it, especially our own complicity. It turns out that Blake Lively has been making statements in interviews for years, in between all of the terrible It Ends With Us interviews. Journalist Kirsty Flaw shared the 8-year-old footage from when she interviewed Blake, admitting sitting down with Blake Lively and her co-star Parker Posey for Cafe Society in 2016 is the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. Is it not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or to ask another woman about costumes she's wearing in the film? When Kirsty tries to ask polite questions and make good comments to the two in the nightmare interview footage, Blake brusquely rejects her. She congratulates Blake Lively on her pregnancy, saying, "Congrats on your little bump." Then, even though Flaw isn't pregnant, Blake Lively responds to the journalist with the same remark. Just super passive aggressive. During an interview about It Ends With Us, the host asked Blake Lively how people might approach her regarding the film's delicate and deeply personal topics. He inquired, "Most of us who are lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public get only a few brief moments to maybe speak to you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, they come across you in public and they want to talk to you, what's the best way for them to talk to you about this?" She then joked about releasing her phone number to fans rather than taking the topic seriously, wondering why she wouldn't just location share at that point. In response, she said, "That's like asking for my address or my phone number, location share. I could just location share you and then we could just," before she started trailing off while laughing. She continues, "I'm a Virgo, so every time I'm like, are we talking logistics, emotionally?" Regarding her interview, one Reddit user shared their comments, writing, "What the heck is wrong with her? This is just willful ignorance and lack of self-awareness from a fully grown woman. Is she even aware of what the movie is promoting? Does she know what it's about? The cognitive dissonance is off the charts at this point." She reduced the valid question the interviewer asked her to a flippant joke. "I genuinely feel bad for her co-star, and you can clearly see he is uncomfortable, but since they've all thrown in their lot with Blake and her annoying husband, they are stuck with this mess. I honestly appreciate Justin for being the only person to address and tackle the DV themes on this press tour."
Blake Lively gets caught in another lie on camera.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
this?
I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She's a producer on the film from the beginning to the end.
Wow. So one thing Blake wasn't truthful about was the fact that there was a professional on set there to help with romantic scenes, which was proven to be untrue.
You got your demons, spend seasons on the dark side of the moon.
There's a long way for the It Ends With Us drama to go before we can pull the plug on it. Right from the get-go, the film was under the pin of the public eye for trying to romanticize a story about DV. Then came the promotions, and Blake Lively's behavior in interviews was enough to make fans run as far as they could from the film. Now, even months after the film's release, drama has not left its side, with the actress filing a lawsuit against her co-star and director, Justin Baldoni.
Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's situation just got crazier.
Blake Lively is taking legal action against her It Ends With Us co-star, Justin Baldoni.
In her complaint, Blake Lively had a lot to say about Justin Baldoni's behavior towards her and the involvement or lack thereof of professionals on set who were supposed to be there to help choreograph romantic scenes.
You know, right when we started pre-production, we started searching for our intimacy coordinator, and we ended up having 2 intimacy coordinators.
Justin Baldoni hit back with his own side of the story, but there is still a lot to see before the case comes to a conclusion. Recently, a viral video from the film's promotion has resurfaced on social media where Blake Lively talked about romantic coordinators on the set of the film. Colleen Hoover, Blake Lively, and Brandon Sklenar sit down for an interview with Access Hollywood as the conversation shifted to the actress's romance with the leading actors. The interviewer pointed out how Lively was sometimes directing the romantic scenes on her own.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think. So, yeah.
The interviewer also brought up behind-the-scenes clips which showed Blake teaching Justin how to pull her in for a scene.
We're teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
this?
As the interview resurfaced, people had a lot to say about Blake, from calling her entitled to insufferable. Fans clearly have a strong opinion of Blake. This isn't all she was called either. Needless to say, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni has got the entire world talking about who's right and who's wrong. Only time will tell how it ends for them. As this saga between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni continues to unfold, it's clear that there's so much more to the story than meets the eye. From accusations of mishandled romantic scenes to ongoing legal battles.
Justin Baldoni sues the New York Times for $250 million over the outlet's Blake Lively harassment story.
Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes.
It's hard to know who to believe. Blake's claims about the lack of professionals on set seem to be unraveling, especially with the resurfaced footage showing her actively directing scenes herself. Fans are split, with some backing Blake, others questioning her version of events. What's next for these two? Will the truth finally come out, or will we be left with more tangled stories and public back and forth? One thing's for sure, this is far from over, and the drama shows no signs of slowing down. As we wait for more updates, all we can do is sit back, grab our popcorn, and watch the fireworks.
Blake Lively's got a lot to apologize for, and she seemingly doesn't want to, especially to that interviewer. Let me explain how Blake Lively refuses to apologize for being rude to an interviewer.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Blake Lively hasn't apologized, according to the Entertainment Reporter, who almost quit her job after a nightmare interview went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Hi everyone, this has been a really crazy week for me.
Kirsty Flaw discussed the incident on her YouTube channel very recently. In 2016, the actress publicly complimented Lively on her little bump, only for Lively to coldly respond. Flaw said that it took her a while to actually get over it. Flaw has now disclosed that she is infertile. It affected me for a while because it made me nervous when I was interviewing other people after that, and I blamed myself for it for a long time because I felt like I did or said something wrong, the celebrity journalist shared. This comes right after her less than stellar press tour for her new movie It Ends With Us. The interview between Ryan Reynolds and co-star Brandon Sklenar for Blake Lively's It Ends With Us marketing was absurd. "What are you doing? This isn't Deadpool. Why are you trying to be funny?" one of Ryan Reynolds' Instagram followers wrote in response to the video. Fans of Blake, meantime, were baffled as to why there was never a video on her account talking about the concepts shown in the movie, because it's a pretty deep movie. As a result of the continuous debate concerning Blake's subpar marketing, Flaw uploaded a video on YouTube titled "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job." In an interview with ET, Blake talked excitedly about the vintage Britney Spears outfit she wore to the It Ends With Us premiere. Still, when Flaw tried to talk to her about her Cafe Society attire, she got defensive. "Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes," said Blake, turning from Flaw to her co-star Parker Posey. That's the reason Flaw waited so long to share a video of the sit-down, which featured Parker Posey, Lively's co-star from Cafe Society. When Flaw posted the horrific interview, she said she hadn't read up on all the other stuff surrounding Lively and her new film It Ends With Us, and it was just a coincidence. During their conversation, Flaw believed that Lively was displaying mean girl energy, stating that it made her feel left out. She continued by expressing her gratitude to the thousands of people who had reached out to her with supportive notes ever since the sit-down became public. She asserted that Lively is not one of them. No one came out and apologized, and they probably told her, don't come out and say sorry, don't react, don't do anything. We'll take care of this for you. We'll just say that it's the journalist's fault and that you were offended by her, and then we'll just plant some other good positive stories. Theoretically, Flaw said, I think that's the problem. Flaw feels that many Hollywood A-listers don't own up to their mistakes because they're afraid that it's going to backfire or that it's going to make them look bad, noting it's time to change that. I think if Blake Lively would have come out in front of this, she said, things would have been very different. Blake has nevertheless shown that she is capable of expressing regret for her deeds. She regretted her quip about Kate Middleton being away from the public view and confessed that she and Ryan Reynolds made a mistake in their plantation wedding.
Is being called the new Amber Heard by so many fans. And this is because Blake Lively has a reputation right now for being a mean girl. And she, just like Amber Heard, has brought claims against a man for doing things to her without her consent and with ill intent. The big difference, though, is that it appears that Blake Lively has a ton of evidence that appears to completely support her claims against Justin Baldoni.
A chorus of support is growing behind actress Blake Lively against Justice Baldoni.
In Amber Heard's case, she barely even had a case against Johnny Depp, let's be real. It's no surprise though that Justin Baldoni has a much more positive public image, similar to how Johnny Depp did when compared to Amber Heard during his case, but this might soon change in the case of Blake Lively. Her reputation might actually skyrocket and improve from here. But speaking of Amber Heard, by the way, Amber Heard herself, she had spoken out after hearing about these claims that Blake Lively brought up against Justin Baldoni.
Well, Amber Heard has spoken out in defense of Blake Lively, who has accused co-star Justin Baldoni.
And Blake Lively, by the way, says that Justin Baldoni tried to ruin her reputation purposely by spreading rumors about her. And get this, Justin Baldoni allegedly hired the same PR person that Johnny Depp, Amber Heard's ex-husband, used during their whole messy situation. But getting back to what Amber Heard was saying, this is what she says, because Blake Lively's situation really struck home with her. But check it out. Here's what she says. Social media is the absolute personification of the classic saying, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth can get its boots on. I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive. If you don't remember, back in June of 2022, a jury decided that Amber Heard had actually defamed Johnny Depp, and he was given $15 million in damages, whereas Amber got $2 million in her counterclaim. Now, after the verdict, Amber Heard said it was a step back to a time when women who spoke up could be publicly embarrassed, and she definitely was criticized a lot online during her whole trial and drama with Johnny Depp. And at the time, she had told NBC News in June of 2022 that social media backlash that she was receiving was completely unfair. And Amber Heard now, she left America and she lives in Spain with her daughter, who's 3 years old at the time of recording this video. And now she's actually expecting her second child. Now, getting back to Blake Lively, for her situation, she shares 4 children with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and she claims that Justin Baldoni showed her adult-natured videos and images of women and asked about how much she weighed while filming their movie based on Colleen Hoover's 2016 book, It Ends With Us. There's so many other things. We definitely have to dive into that in a separate video. But Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively's husband, apparently went to the meeting about Justin Baldoni's behavior. And Blake Lively said that Justin Baldoni used his crisis PR management team to change the story about their alleged onset feud through social manipulation. And Justin Baldoni, of course, denies everything completely, calling the accusations shameful and totally false. He was later dropped by his talent agency as well. The attorney Brian Friedman, who released the following statement, and he represents Justin Baldoni, says, Tag PR operated as any other crisis management firm would when hired by a client experiencing threats by two extremely powerful people with unlimited resources. The standard scenario planning Tag PR drafted proved unnecessary as audience found Lively's own actions, interviews, and marketing during the promotional tour distasteful and responded organically to that which the media themselves picked up on. It's ironic that the New York Times, through their effort to uncover an insidious PR effort, played directly into the hands of Lively's own dubious PR tactics by publishing leaked personal text exchanges that lack critical context, the very same tactics she accuses the firm of implementing. So pretty much in Justin Baldoni's defense, his PR team is saying that, hey, Blake Lively, she's doing the same thing. Why is she leaking, this personal information and all these texts? And context is lacking here. So she's literally doing to Justin Baldoni what she's accusing him of doing to her. So guys, this is definitely looking worse now for Justin than it is for Blake, because we've seen all through 2024 how Blake Lively's popularity and likability plummeted. And it looks like she does have a case though in this case. And it looks like she was right all along, at least according to what the leaked texts say. It looks like his PR team was bragging about doing a good job in hurting her image. But yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that saying that Blake Lively is the new Amber Heard, well, that's yet to be determined. It looks like she does have a strong case in this one. And I have a feeling that this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni drama is gonna get very, very messy.
These who support Blake Lively against Justin Baldoni are pretty surprising. From Amber Heard to Amy Schumer, plenty of Hollywood mainstays are lining up in support of Blake.
Lively's famous friends and family now showing support, including her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars.
The It Ends With Us drama is back and headed to court.
We take it very, very seriously.
Amber Heard, no stranger to high-profile legal stuff, has publicly expressed her support for Blake Lively amid the It Ends With Us lawsuit against Justin Baldoni.
Amber Heard is coming to Blake Lively's defense after the Gossip Girl alum filed a legal complaint against Justin Baldoni.
After news broke that Baldoni had hired the same PR team that worked with Johnny Depp during his infamous feud with Amber Heard spoke out in a statement to NBC News on December 23rd, 2024. Social media is the absolute personification of the classic saying, a lie travels halfway around the world before truth can get its boots on. Amber wrote, I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive.
As she tells, I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive.
Amber's words reflect her own experience during the tumultuous defamation trial with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, who in 2022 won a defamation suit against her and was awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. The trial dominated headlines and social media, with Amber Heard enduring an intense wave of public scrutiny and online backlash, as you all know, I'm sure. Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings didn't just pick a side in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni drama, she unleashed a full-scale roast on TikTok, holding nothing back. In her scathing takedown, Whitney called out Justin for allegedly using his public persona as a feminist ally to cover questionable behavior. I don't like when guys, especially symmetrical ones, try to get points for being like a feminist or like an ally, Whitney quipped at the start of the video. When guys fight for women's rights, it's how they get to bed. The comedian's biting humor didn't stop there. She accused Justin of embodying what she dubbed big charity energy, insinuating that his visible support for various causes might be more about appearances than genuine commitment. Whitney even took a jab at Justin's work as an author, mocking his young adult self-help book, Boys Will Be Human, a get-real, gut-check guide to becoming the strongest, kindest, bravest person you can be. What a mouthful for a book. This is like a sociopath's idea of what the world needs, she said with a straight face while holding up a photo of the book. Whitney wrapped up her takedown by imagining Justin's future apology, predicting he'd blame it all on internalized misogyny, being too sensitive, and being in ketosis. Her sharp wit and no-holds-barred approach resonated with fans, many of whom praised her for tackling a serious issue with her signature comedic flair. Gwyneth Paltrow may not have made a grand statement, but her subtle show of support for Blake Lively spoke volumes. Shortly after the lawsuit made headlines, Gwyneth shared Blake's Blake Brown hair care brand on her Instagram stories, writing, "Just added to my Christmas wish list," on December 20th. While some might brush this off as a simple product endorsement, fans were quick to connect the dots. The timing of the post was no coincidence, with many interpreting it as Gwyneth's quiet way of standing with Blake amidst the storm. Gwyneth Paltrow has long been a champion of women in Hollywood, and this thoughtful gesture didn't go unnoticed. Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover, author of the It Ends With Us novel, was the first major name to publicly support Blake. On December 21st, Colleen posted a heartfelt message to Instagram stories. "Blake Lively, you have been nothing but honest, kind, supportive, and patient since the day we met. Thank you for being exactly the human that you are. Never change, never wilt." But Colleen didn't stop there. Just one day later, she reposted a powerful statement from Blake's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars, adding her own lengthy caption to express her admiration for Blake's strength. Blake herself acknowledged Colleen's unwavering support by liking the post. As the author behind the story at the center of this legal firestorm, Colleen's vocal backing of Blake carries a lot of weight and shows just how much respect she has for the actress. Robin Lively. Blake's older sister, Robin Lively, has always been one of her fiercest advocates, and this time was no different. On December 21st, Robin took to Instagram to demand justice for her sister, sharing a link to the New York Times article detailing Blake's accusations against Justin Baldoni. Robin's message was a clear and resounding call for accountability, and fans were quick to rally behind her. As a fellow actress, Robin knows all too well the challenges women face in the industry, and her outspoken support for Blake proves that family will always come first. Bart Johnson. Bart Johnson, Robin's husband and Blake's brother-in-law, didn't hold back when it came to defending Blake. On December 21st, Bart took to Instagram to comment on the New York Times post about the lawsuit, writing, "Her complaints were filed during the filming, on record long before the public conflict. The cast unfollowed him for a reason." Bart didn't sugarcoat his feelings about Justin, referring to him as a fraud in a second post shared on X, formerly Twitter, on December 23rd. "He puts on the costume of a hero, man bun and all," Bart wrote, slamming Justin's Man Enough podcast as theater full of faux humility. In his Instagram comments, Bart also clapped back at critics of Blake, calling out the hypocrisy of judging her for a few bad moments in interviews while ignoring her decades of hard work and success. His unwavering defense of Blake showed just how deep the family loyalty runs. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants cast. Blake's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars America Ferrera, Amber Tamblyn, and Alexis Bledel proved that sisterhood isn't just for the screen. In a joint statement shared on December 22nd, the trio stood firmly behind Blake. As Blake's friends and sisters for over 20 years, we stand with her in solidarity as she fights back against the reported campaign waged to ruin her reputation, they wrote. The actresses highlighted Blake's courage in asking for a safe workplace and condemned the alleged efforts to discredit her voice. They also called out the exploitation of survivors' stories, which they described as astounding hypocrisy. Their statement ended with an encouragement to fans to read Blake's full complaint, showing just how seriously they're taking this issue. Amy Schumer. Comedian Amy Schumer wasted no time showing her support for Blake. On December 22nd, Amy posted a simple yet powerful message on her Instagram stories. "I believe Blake." Though brief, Amy's statement resonated with her followers, many of whom praised her for taking a clear and public stance. Known for her advocacy for women in Hollywood, Amy's backing of Blake was a natural extension of her commitment to standing up against injustice. Brandon Sklenar. Brandon Sklenar, who starred alongside Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in It Ends With Us as Atlas, didn't hold back in showing his support for Blake. On December 23rd, the actor shared the New York Times article detailing Blake's lawsuit via Instagram, urging his followers to read her full complaint. "For the love of God, read this," Brandon wrote, tagging Blake and adding a red heart emoji to show his solidarity. Fans of the film took notice, with many praising Brandon for standing with Blake so openly. As someone who worked closely with with both leads, his decision to publicly take Blake's side speaks volumes about the dynamics behind the scenes. Michele Morrone. Italian actor Michele Morrone made waves when he posted an emotional video on Instagram on December 23rd to defend Blake. It's usually not my thing to make those kinds of videos, but I think it's time to stand up for a person I really love, and this person is Blake Lively, Michele shared. He revealed that he met Blake while working on A Simple Favor 2, and even during their time together, he could sense something wasn't right. I felt something was wrong, and I felt the pain, Michele said, adding that the two had meaningful conversations while filming. The actor also expressed his frustration over the cruel and bad comments being directed at Blake, saying he was really tired of the negativity surrounding her.
I personally met Blake during A Simple Favor 2. We shot this incredible film together and I felt something was wrong.
Michele's heartfelt video struck a chord with fans, many of whom commended him for speaking out so passionately. Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate, who appeared in It Ends With Us as Baldoni's on-screen sister, released a powerful statement on Today.com on December 23rd, voicing her support for Blake. As Blake Lively's castmate and friend, I voice my support as she takes action against those reported to have planned and carried out an attack on her reputation, Jenny stated. Blake is a leader, loyal friend, and a trusted source of emotional support for me and so many who know and love her. Jenny didn't mince words when describing the allegations against Justin Baldoni. What has been revealed about the movement on Blake is terribly dark and disturbing, she said. I commend my friend, I admire her bravery, and I stand by her side. Jenny's support is particularly significant given her close involvement with the project. Her public backing of Blake reinforces the idea that tensions behind the scenes were deeper than anyone initially realized. Things Justin Baldoni did to Blake Lively. Adding scenes. According to Blake Lively's lawsuit, concerns about Justin Baldoni's creative decisions arose even before filming for It Ends With Us began. Blake strongly opposed his proposed addition of scenes, describing them as unnecessary. The legal documents included a specific request to halt further attempts to add elements to the film. This included a stipulation that no new scenes, depictions of certain acts, or on-camera completions involving Blake would be introduced beyond what had been approved when she initially signed on to the project. Blake also alleged that Justin initiated unwanted physical contact during their scenes. This included discussions of his own life and instances where consent may not have been respected. The lawsuit describes how Justin introduced physical aspects that had not been rehearsed, choreographed, or discussed with her in advance. For example, during one scene, Justin reportedly bit and sucked on Blake's lower lip and improvised multiple smooches during each take. And that just gives me shivers all over thinking about it. Furthermore, he allegedly insisted on repeating the scene far more times than what would be typically required on a professional set, doing so without prior notice or her consent. Another incident involved Justin pressuring Blake to remove portions of her costume for a childbirth scene. He allegedly told her it was unrealistic for her character to remain that dressed up during labor, citing personal anecdotes about his wife doing the same during childbirth. Although Blake disagreed, she claims she ultimately felt forced to compromise by appearing that way for the scene. This dude needs serious help and probably a cell somewhere. His habits and other behavior. Blake Lively's lawsuit also highlights instances of Justin's remarks and behaviors on set. A meeting was reportedly held in January 2024 to address her mounting concerns about the production. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, attended alongside her to ensure her demands were addressed. Among the conditions discussed were requests to stop showing Blake weird videos or weird images of women to avoid mentioning Justin's alleged habits, and to cease conversations about conquests in front of Blake and the cast and crew. Additional boundaries included avoiding comments about Blake's size and refraining from bringing up personal topics such as her father. Blake claims that the film's producer, Jamie Heath, also engaged in weirdo conduct. According to her, Heath once entered her trailer and watched her while her body makeup was being removed, despite her clear request for privacy. Both Justin and Heath allegedly entered her makeup trailer at other times while she was feeding her baby or not ready to be looked at, further adding to her woes. In response to Blake's complaints, the production company Wayfarer agreed to implement new safety measures. They issued a statement affirming their commitment to maintaining a secure work environment, even while noting differences in their perspectives during the incidents. Blake later acknowledged that the implementation of these changes had led to some improvement in on-set behavior by the spring. Breaking character during filming. Another claim in the lawsuit involves an incident during a rooftop dance scene. While filming, Justin allegedly broke character to engage in behavior that Blake found strange. According to the lawsuit, he leaned forward and dragged his lips from her ear to her neck, commenting on how she smelled. This interaction was reportedly unscripted and had no connection to the scene or dialogue being filmed. The legal documents describe it as a personal gesture rather than an in-character action. When Blake objected to this behavior later, Justin reportedly dismissed her concerns, claiming he wasn't even attracted to her. Yeah, that'll do it, man. The remarks he made when she was postpartum. Blake Lively also accuses Justin of making remarks about her size shortly after she had given birth to her 4th child. The lawsuit states that just weeks before filming, Justin contacted Blake's personal trainer without her knowledge. During this conversation, he allegedly implied that Blake needed to move a few sizes down the chart within 2 weeks, using a scene where he would need to lift her as justification. However, there was no such scene ever planned for the film. The situation worsened when Blake later contracted strep throat. According to her lawsuit, Justin suggested a health expert to help her recover, presenting it as a kind gesture. However, when Blake reviewed the privacy forms, she discovered that the expert was actually a size loss specialist, leading her to believe the suggestion was motivated by his ongoing focus on her appearance. Social media campaign to ruin her reputation. Blake's lawsuit also accuses Justin of orchestrating a deliberate campaign to harm her reputation through social media manipulation. The documents include thousands of text messages and emails obtained via subpoena, which allegedly revealed Justin's team collaborating with a management expert. One particularly alarming message involves a publicist discussing strategies to bury Blake's public image. Another aspect of this campaign allegedly involved astroturfing, a tactic where fake opinions are posted online to appear as though they came from real users. Justin also reportedly referred to online posts targeting other celebrities as inspiration for his campaign. In one instance, he referenced a thread accusing Hailey Bieber of being mean, describing it as the kind of narrative he wanted to achieve. Additionally, his team allegedly discussed using feminism as a tool, citing Taylor Swift as an example in their strategy. Amid this fallout, Justin is said to have altered his social media approach after the film's premiere, shifting focus towards survivor advocacy and other themes relating to the movie content to rehabilitate his image. His team reportedly advised against such an abrupt change in strategy, but Justin insisted on continuing with the new narrative, claiming contact with Blake's late father. This one is wild. Blake Lively alleges that Justin Baldoni engaged in behavior she couldn't even believe, including claims that he could communicate with her late father. Justin allegedly told her on multiple occasions that he had spoken with her father, Ernie Blake, who passed away in June 2021. According to the complaint, Blake found these statements deeply invasive, particularly given the personal nature of the loss. Excessive physical contact on set. The lawsuit states that both Justin and producer Jamie Heath frequently hugged or touched cast or crew members. Blake claims that when she or others avoided these interactions, the two men would respond with irritation or hostility. The result was described as an unpredictable and unwelcoming environment that made collaboration difficult for Blake and her team. Comments on women's appearance. Blake alleges that Justin regularly referred to women in the workplace by certain adjectives, brushing off their discomfort with dismissive remarks. In one instance, he complimented a female cast member's leather pants as looking beyond nice. And when she objected, he excused the behavior by saying, "I can say that because my wife is here." Is Justin sane? Blake herself experienced similar comments. While wearing a low-cut dress under a coat for easily being able to feed her child, Justin allegedly pressured her to remove the coat on set, saying he wanted to see her outfit. According to Blake, when she refused, Justin described her appearance as good-looking and later sarcastically remarked, "I guess I missed the HR meeting." Other female cast members reportedly shared similar experiences of unwanted remarks from Justin. Another complaint. The lawsuit cites additional complaints against Justin from other cast members. On May 29th, 2023, one actress reportedly filed a formal complaint about Justin's gross and unwanted comments. Earlier in the production, another actress raised concerns about his remarks on her appearance. While Justin initially acknowledged her concerns, Blake claims that the actress later confided in her, saying that she could no longer engage with him outside of scenes. Impact on Blake's family. Blake's legal documents describe the toll Justin's alleged behavior has taken on her, her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and their children. Blake reportedly had plenty of feelings that affected her ability to function in her personal and professional life. Her family, including her children, allegedly experienced significant upheaval due to the surrounding situation. Professional and financial damages. Blake claims that the whole thing led to substantial professional setbacks. She withdrew from hosting the highly anticipated Saturday Night Live season 50 premiere and canceled key events, including a corporate engagement for her hair care line, Blake Brown Beauty. The lawsuit also alleges significant financial losses for her businesses. Initially, Blake Brown was reportedly Target's most successful hair care launch, but the social manipulation campaign allegedly caused sales to plummet by 56% to 78%. Additionally, Blake's other brands, Betty Buzz and Betty Booze, faced online trolling, forcing them to pause social media activity, which negatively impacted their business operations, as you can imagine.
He made a list of 30 strict rules and demands to directors and co-star Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us. And here are just some of the rules. I had to omit a lot of them and alter the wording since they were pretty wild and not suitable for everyone. So Blake Lively had this rule that said that there shall be no more showing of adult-natured videos or images of women to Blake Lively and or her team. And there's so many other rules like this. Like, there should be no more mention of Justin Baldoni or James Heath's adult-related content consumption levels, or Blake Lively's lack of adult-related content consumption. No more discussions to Blake Lively and or her employees about personal experiences with having adult relations, including as it relates to spouses or others. No more descriptions of certain body parts to Blake Lively. No more jokes or disparaging comments to be made to Blake Lively and or her employees about HR complaints Wayfair has already received on set or about missing the HR meeting. No more inquiries by Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively's trainer without her knowledge of consent to disclose how many pounds that she is. Also, there shall be no more mention by Justin Baldoni of him speaking to Blake Lively's father, who was no longer alive. Yeah, that was pretty weird. He claimed to be speaking to Blake Lively's father, who had passed away already. Either way, let's continue with the rules. There shall be no more pressing by Justin Baldoni for Blake Lively to disclose her religious beliefs or unsolicited sharing of his. An intimacy coordinator must be present at all times when Blake Lively is on set in scenes with Justin Baldoni. No more personal, touching, or creepy comments by Justin Baldoni or James Heath to be tolerated by Blake Lively and or any of her employees, as well as any female cast or crew without express consent. No more improvising of makeout scenes. All touch related to these scenes must be choreographed in advance with Blake Lively and an intimacy coordinator. No biting or sucking of lip without Blake Lively's consent. All romantic on-camera touch and conversation must be in character, not spoken from Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively personally. So guys, this is wild. This would mean that Justin Baldoni, he was actually taking a lot of liberty with Blake Lively on set, you know, maybe making moves at her. But there are a lot of reports when Blake Lively would hit back, they're saying that he just responded saying like, I'm not even attracted to you, you know, just kind of brushed her off, I guess to kind of excuse his actions and antics on set. But yeah, there's a ton of more rules. Let's keep going. Blake Lively has to have representative on set at all times and with a monitor during scenes involving not being dressed and activities relating to that, or certain physical actions with Justin Baldoni. All actors participating with Blake Lively in certain scenes involving her being in any state of being without any clothing or simulated non-clothing scenes must be classified as active working actors, not friends of the director or producers, and must be pre-approved by Blake Lively. No more filming of any Blake Lively without anything on, without a full executed SAG complaint writer in place. Any such footage already shot without this in place and indirect violation of SAG requirements may not be used without Blake Lively's and her legal representative's prior written consent. No monitors to be viewed or accessible on set or remotely during closed set scenes, except by Blake Lively approved essential crew and personnel. No more entering, attempting to enter, interrupting, pressuring, or asking Blake Lively to enter her trailer or the makeup trailer by James Heath or Justin Baldoni while she is not in a state of being clothed for any reason. No more private multi-hour meetings in Blake Lively's trailer with Justin Baldoni crying with no outside Blake Lively appointed representative to monitor. No more pressing by Justin Baldoni to sage any of Blake Lively's employees. Wow, guys, this just gets weirder and creepier as it goes on. So Justin Baldoni, like, he thought he was some Casanova guy, really just like barging into her dressing room just like that, just because he just thought he had the right to do that. Just imagine how uncomfortable Blake Lively would have felt if these claims are true. Like, for her to actually list these strict rules and make these demands, yeah, something would have to have happened. All right, just a few more, guys. Stay with me. Engagement of a Blake Lively approved A-list stunt double to perform Lily in scenes with Justin Baldoni involving anything graphic. Blake Lively to perform only close-up work or work from a Blake Lively pre-approved shot list in scenes with Justin Baldoni involving acts that happen without consent. So yeah, she's really, really strict. She wants to stay on top of how close she actually gets with Justin, like in real life. Of course, yeah, in movies they use stunt doubles and body doubles, and they utilize close-up shots, far-away shots, just to give the illusion that certain things are happening. And looks like Blake Lively just wanted to be on top of that because she was really uncomfortable in his presence. No more adding of adult-related scenes by Blake Lively outside the scope of the script Blake Lively approved when signing on to the project. No more asking or pressuring Blake Lively to cross physical picket lines. And finally, the last rule I'll share is no more retaliatory behavior to Blake Lively for raising concerns or requesting safeguards. Wow, guys. So Justin Baldoni would literally try to extend the intimate scenes with Blake Lively, like again and again, and try to add in scenes and make stuff up just so that he can be in those scenes with her for longer periods of time. That is wild.